Hello, this is Brian Ryo with sprint number 1 for the engine class. So the very first thing I'll demonstrate is the brand new game demo that's currently in the works. So this is the start scene. You have the player eventually being able to fire at other army men using a gun that shoots in bursts of 3. In the bottom corner, you'll be able to see the current player's ammo supply before having to reload. And like I mentioned, there will be other army men out in the field that you'll be able to shoot and kill. Second part of the gameplay, just to illustrate it, is the ability for the player to come inside and take control of the tank. The tank has a basically a single shot that takes 2 seconds to reload, so here I'm trying to shoot it out repeatedly, but I have to wait for the reload to fire again. And again, there will be also other tanks in the game that fire back at the player, and if the player wants, they can exit back out and fire again. So this was just a quick demonstration of what I have down the pike for the game demo, but that's what I was able to work on for this week. I know you didn't want the cottages and the frigates anymore, so I do have this these two things currently being worked on. I also have provided the toy soldier in the common folder, I believe. Hopefully I put it in the correct one, and like I said, I promise I'll get rid of that frigate up in the air later on, but that's a problem for another day. The many things that I was changing throughout the break and through this week was fixing things, ensuring that some things are private, other things are not. The big thing that I had to change was inputables. I discovered that inputables ran into some errors when I tried to register and then later deregister and then register again inputables. I didn't realize that until I tried to program the demo game under this state, but I was able to get that working. So everything before sprint 2 should be completed. There is probably one or two small things, like alarmable was one that I forgot to swap to make its member variables private, but that's a quick fix that I'll end up doing sometime this week. Going on to the research project, I think I have cemented that I will focus on lighting. My concept for lighting is to basically copy the shader that we did in the graphics class for Phong lighting and basically translate that into OpenGL. I have taken a look into the actual shader for light that is provided. It doesn't have that much information, so I plan on adding its specular and all the other information. I do have to research more on how OpenGL gets set up, and I'm also not sure if that I would have to implement this alongside the Azul core or have it be within my personal engine. That's something that I'm going to have to bring up with you tomorrow. And since I know lighting isn't the only thing that we'll need, I do have one thing that I want to propose to you probably tomorrow when you can actually see me, and that is the ability to move objects kind of like with like a God placement system, so that way if I don't like the way this object is placed, I can physically move it either with keyboard controls or with a mouse click. I'll be able to move that along the X, Y, or Z axis, so I can place objects and create a scene more quickly than just hard coding it and then compiling and running the code, seeing it, and then having to go back and change those numbers if I don't like the way it looks. That will be my second proposal. Ideas on how that would work. Again, I haven't really found something concrete, but I do want to bring it up to you tomorrow if possible. I think that covers the sprint. Like I said, there's a lot more that should be done for this test demo, but I plan on messing around with it whenever I do get the free time within this quarter. Thank you very much.